Hello everyone, this is Babamots. Welcome to another Homeworlds commentary. This is a game between me and Stevie from the 2023 tournament. This is from the semifinals. Winner of this game goes on to face Fork of Nature in the finals. And let's see how it goes. I remember how it goes because this game just ended, but now I'm going to show you. Alright, I pick a large red Gemini. I don't actually like this Homeworld setup very much, but I'm trying to get into the see how I feel about Geminis, especially as first player, since statistics show that small universes favor the first player. Stevie, unusually, well, more usually for Stevie than for most people, chooses to make this a microverse by taking a banker setup that is connected to my home. So green star and a red initial ship. I don't know much about having a red initial ship. My guess is that Stevie wants to get red ships very, very quickly and to dominate the red economy and try to bleed me out that way. That's my guess, but a microverse, I don't know how well that works in a microverse compared to other systems. This is unusual. I trade for blue right away since there's a small blue star. Stevie doesn't pick blue. Stevie goes straight for the yellow. And I can eat up the last of the blues, but of course I can't go anywhere until I get a yellow as well. Stevie's threatening to cut me out of the yellows, so I go ahead and trade in for one. Stevie trades for the blue now, opening up the mediums, but since the homeworlds are connected, I shouldn't actually build one or I'll lose a star. So I just go back to the green building. I think my thought at the moment was that if I get enough green, I can put a lot of pressure on Stevie's home star. Green home stars typically, well, I think of them as a liability. Stevie now, I think, is going into gobble up all the reds mode. And I go ahead and trade in for a red because I don't want to get totally left behind, but it's a little harder for me to join the reds since I've got that red star. Stevie spreads out the reds. I go back to green. Stevie takes even more red. I get my red out of there, so I'll have a chance to build something larger now that it's available. Stevie gets the first medium. I pass up the chance for a medium for now. I take a green. Nope, changed my mind. I got the medium instead. Stevie trades for green. And so Stevie's got a green at a green star, and if I had the yellow power to do it or some more greens, maybe I could get Stevie's star without losing my mothership, but I don't. So instead I spread out the blue. Stevie gets a medium. I get a medium. Stevie gets back to building the reds, which I think is the real goal here. I actually trade away one of my reds to take a medium yellow. I'm kind of surprised I didn't pick blue instead. I might have had in mind blue shopping spree? No, I'd be giving up my mothership, and with connected homeworlds, that's really dangerous. I'm surprised I picked red instead of blue to trade away here. Maybe I thought I was going to be able to spread out the blues and then have an advantage in getting the large blues when those open up. Stevie sacrifices little blue to trade a red for a yellow. Okay, so now we've both got a medium yellow. Pressure is even more on to keep the homeworld free from overpopulation risks. I build that medium red again. Stevie spreads out the green, setting up a red investment to build a large later on, potentially, reserving the large red for himself. So even if we keep eating up these mediums, Stevie's going to be the one to get a large. So that I think is going to make me not want to build the reds so much for now. I'm thinking about spreading out the blues. Do I commit to this? Consider a few things here. Put the blue in a large yellow system. I think I'm just spreading out the blues so I'll have more room to build and to put some pressure on Stevie's blues, make him spread out before building. So Stevie spreads out the blue, not surprising. I build a blue. Stevie takes the red rather than the blue. So I spread out my reds, preparing to build more. And Stevie invades with the mothership. So now I'm in a bit of a pickle. I thought about this move for a very long time. If I try to build into overpopulating Stevie's large, I can build the one red ship, but then Stevie gets to sacrifice the green, cash in on the investment, and he is ahead by a large. So I could build a red here, and then move in my other red to overpopulate Stevie's mothership, but Stevie gets to replace it, and I've lost more material than Stevie, so that doesn't look very good. The counterattack, if I just move my mothership into Stevie's home, Stevie's going to capture my medium red, which is most of my firepower, and it's going to be hard for me to take over ships in Stevie's home. After a lot of thought, I ended up deciding to sacrifice my Y2 so that I could both invade and save my R2. And the moves that I saw for Stevie in response, I was imagining, I think, overreactions to my invasion. I'm not actually posing... Stevie is in check here, of course, because I can sacrifice the R2 to capture everything Stevie's got. But Stevie has more red power than me. And if it comes to a showdown of sacrificing red for red to trade ships back and forth, Stevie's going to win that. And so the moves that I imagined for Stevie were things like sacrificing the Y2 to move the red into my home, but of course the counterattack, the immediate counterattack doesn't work because I just capture everything. Stevie could reinforce with a medium, could reinforce with two mediums, could bring their mothership back, could try to bring their green back and overpopulate my large green. And turns out that none of those things work. I win with any of those responses. Anything that's a sacrifice to move two ships back home or to try to counterattack me, that all fails. The simpler, more obvious, and subtler thing is the right thing here, I think. And in all of this, I welcome any contradicting analysis because I'm not sure that I got this all right, but you'll see how this goes. Okay, so Stevie simply brings back one red ship. And so I've known about this principle for a long time, but I've never seen it really change the flow of a game quite so much as it does here. It's surprisingly difficult to take over a home world where all the ships are the same size. And the ships can just keep capturing one another back after you take them. So I've got to do red sacrifices to take over lots of these ships at once. And very importantly, I don't have room to mess up, because if I take even 2 turns to take over Stevie's home, I've got to constantly be putting Stevie in check, because as soon as Stevie's not in check, Stevie puts me in check in a way that I can't handle. If I did something neutral like build red right now, Stevie sacrifices Y2 to move their large into my home, and Stevie sacrifices R2 to capture on their next turn. I don't have a way to reinforce with ships that are large enough, um, and or to get enough red. It's Stevie's gonna win if Stevie has the time to move their large into my home and start capturing, because Stevie's got the red power. I've got to constantly keep taking these red ships. So I think about trading my blue for red, but then decide that I should just sacrifice the red I currently have, because if I even traded that blue for red, Stevie moves into my home, and I'm pretty sure it's all over from there. So I take Stevie's 2 reds. Stevie's got to capture to take them back because Stevie's in check, and any kind of reinforcement, I'll just capture whatever he reinforces with. So Stevie captures, sacrifices to take them back. So here I am, same position as before, but now I've lost my red 2, but I've also taken away Stevie's red 2. He had to sacrifice to take these reds back. And so now if Stevie rolls into my home with the Y2 sacrifice, I have a little bit more time after that happens. So I actually have, because it'll take Stevie 2 turns instead of 1 to capture all of my home ships, so I've actually got the time now to build a red 2. And if Stevie tries the invasion, then I can capture the reds and capture the remaining ship before Stevie gets me. So Stevie needs to prepare to take both of these reds back. Stevie also builds medium red, and we just cycle at this point. Stevie didn't see a good way out for him. I didn't see a good way out for me. And so we just cycled on this position until we reached the same position 3 times, and that's a draw. So that's how that went. I would be fascinated if anybody can point out to me something different that one of us could have done. Either should my invasion have been different? Should I not have worried about Stevie cashing in on this investment? Did one of us have an exit from this loop that would have likely led to a win? Please let me know. I'm going to be sitting around analyzing this game more, but I thought I'd give you my relatively raw take on it. It was a loop because that's the best we could see. So the result here is a tie. As it happens, Board Game Arena in a bracket tournament, when there's a tie, Board Game Arena picks who advances to the next round. I don't know how Board Game Arena makes that choice, but Board Game Arena picked me to advance. I think I can show that the tournament screen in a second here. As it happens, I feel a little bit less bad about being the chosen one here because, a little spoiler here, Stevie advanced to the semifinals in a draw game. So Stevie got lucky and advanced to the semifinals in a draw. I got lucky and advanced to the finals in a draw over Stevie. So that soothes my conscience a little bit that Stevie already had a draw, and advancing to the finals on the merit of 2 draws seems like, I think that seems like a little too much luck for Stevie. So I don't feel too bad that I got picked. But again, I don't like BGA's system of just picking somebody apparently randomly to be advanced. So I don't think I will use brackets on BGA in the future. If I want a bracket tournament, I'm going to run it myself with Google Forms and things. Anyway, yeah, so let me know about any analysis, any insights that you've got about this, because tricky stuff. I don't think I've ever seen a Homeworlds position that looped like this. It seems like a loop position is always just capturing one ship back and forth, not with this this construction in between. I think that's interesting. Anyway, yeah, let me know if you see a good way out of the loop for either of us. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching.